October 17th, 1961. When Marilyn Monroe opened the door of her Beverly Hills mansion, this wasn't what she expected. The 16-year-old girl who rang the doorbell was shivering in the freezing cold and crying. Marilyn's next 5 words would change that girl's life forever. October 17th, 1961. Tuesday evening, Beverly Hills, 1235 5th Helena Drive. Marilyn Monroe's newly purchased Spanish-style mansion. It was 7:30 p.m. Marilyn was in the kitchen, alone. Her housekeeper Eunice Murray had left early. Marilyn was used to loneliness, but tonight felt different. Empty, hollow inside. It had been a terrible week. The studio had canceled her new film. Her psychiatrist had increased her dosage. The newspapers were running "Marilyn is collapsing" headlines again. Maybe they're right, she whispered to herself, staring at the dishwater. Maybe I really am collapsing. Just then, the doorbell rang. Marilyn looked up. Nobody came at this hour. Nobody came without her agent calling first, without an appointment. The bell rang again, insistently, fearfully. Marilyn dried her hands and walked to the door. She looked through the peephole. Outside stood a girl, young, maybe 16, maybe 17 years old, wearing a torn coat, hair disheveled, face dirty, and she was crying. Marilyn's first thought, a fan. Another crazy fan. But then she saw what the girl was holding. An old teddy bear, a stuffed toy, so old, so worn, as if it had been carried in someone's arms for 10 years, and something broke inside Marilyn. Because she knew that teddy bear, well, one just like it, the teddy bear that Norma Jean held while sleeping in the orphanage. She opened the door. The girl stepped back. She was scared. "Please don't go," Marilyn said softly. "Are you okay?" The girl couldn't answer. She just cried harder. Marilyn looked outside. The street was empty. No car. "How did this girl get here? Where did you come from?" Marilyn asked. The girl didn't answer. "Do you have somewhere to stay tonight?" The girl shook her head. "No." And that's when Marilyn Monroe, Hollywood's most famous woman, the icon admired by millions, said 5 words, "Come inside. You're safe now." Marilyn didn't know yet that this girl's story was a mirror of her own past, and the next 24 hours would remind Marilyn of something she had forgotten: love. When the girl came inside, she was trembling. From the cold or from fear, Marilyn couldn't tell. "Sit down," Marilyn said. She pointed to the couch. "Let me get you something." The girl didn't sit. She stood, close to the door, as if ready to run. Marilyn went to the kitchen. She warmed a glass of milk, put some cookies on a plate, came back. The girl was still standing, but now she was looking around the room. Her eyes had widened, as if seeing such a place for the first time. "Here," Marilyn said. She extended the glass. "Drink, you'll warm up." The girl slowly took it. When it touched her hands, they were ice cold. "How long have you been outside?" Marilyn asked. "I don't know," the girl said quietly, her first words. Her voice was broken. "A week maybe longer." Marilyn's heart tightened. "Where's your family?" The girl lowered her head. "Gone." "None at all?" "My father died. My mother abandoned me. I stayed with foster families. But, not anymore." Marilyn swallowed. She knew this story, because it was her story. "How old are you?" 16. "What's your name?" The girl hesitated, as if saying her name was dangerous. "Sarah," she finally said. "Sarah Mitchell." Marilyn sat down, next to the girl, but not too close, so as not to scare her. "Sarah, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to tell me the truth. How did you get here? Beverly Hills isn't easy to reach." Sarah looked at the glass. "I walked." "From where?" "From downtown, from Santa Monica Boulevard." Marilyn calculated. "At least 15 kilometers, maybe more. Why did you come here? Why my house?" Sarah raised her eyes. For the first time she looked at Marilyn, and in that look, Marilyn saw herself. Norma Jean at 16. Lost. Alone. Hopeless. Because I read the newspaper," Sarah said. "You just bought this house. You said it was the first time you had a home of your own, the first time you belonged somewhere." Marilyn's eyes filled with tears. "And I want to belong somewhere too," Sarah said. Her voice broke. "Just for one night, just once I want to know what it feels like to belong." Tears fell. Sarah's, Marilyn's. Marilyn reached out, took Sarah's hand. "Sarah, tonight you belong here, and tomorrow too, and every day after." But there was something Marilyn didn't know. Sarah had a note in her bag. and that note would turn this story into something far more than a simple act of kindness. Marilyn took Sarah upstairs, showed her the guest room. "This is your room," she said. "This is yours." Sarah's mouth fell open. The room was the most beautiful she'd ever seen. Clean sheets, soft pillows, moonlight through the window. "Really?" she whispered. "Really?" Sarah entered the room, touched the bed, as if afraid she was dreaming. "Do you want to take a shower?" Marilyn asked. "I have clean clothes. They might fit you." "Why are you helping me? You don't even know me." Marilyn smiled, but it was a sad smile. "Because I was in your place, Sarah, exactly in your place. I was 16. I had no family, no money, nowhere to go, and nobody said to me, 'Come inside, you're safe.'" Sarah's lip trembled. "But if someone had," Marilyn continued, "my life could have been different. Maybe I could have been happier. Maybe," she stopped. She'd said too much. "Anyway," she said quickly, "there are towels in the bathroom. Stay as long as you want. I'll be downstairs." As Marilyn was leaving, Sarah called out, "Mrs. Monroe." "Yes, thank you. I'll never forget you." Marilyn smiled, closed the door, and stood in the hallway, cried, silently cried, because Sarah reminded her of herself, but not just her past, her present too. Marilyn Monroe was lonely too. Marilyn Monroe was lost too. Marilyn Monroe wanted to belong somewhere too, but nobody was saying to her, "Come inside, you're safe." An hour later, Sarah came out of the shower, wearing the clothes Marilyn had given her, hair combed, face washed, and when Marilyn saw her, her breath caught, because Sarah no longer looked like a dirty street child. She looked like a beautiful young girl, just like Norma Jean. "Are you hungry?" Marilyn asked. Sarah nodded. Very hungry. Maybe she hadn't eaten in days. Marilyn went to the kitchen, made sandwiches, put fruit on a plate. Sarah ate, the way a hungry child eats, fast, fearfully, as if someone might come and take it away. Slowly, Marilyn said gently, "Nobody's taking it. It's all yours." Sarah slowed down, but her eyes were still fearful. After eating, they moved to the living room. Sarah sat on the couch, held her teddy bear in her lap. "Does that bear have a story?" Marilyn asked. Sarah looked at the bear. "The last thing my father gave me. I was 5 when he died. It's my only memory." Marilyn sat next to her. "My father died early too," she said. "Actually, I never knew him, but I always wondered, did he love me? Did he think about me?" Sarah looked at her. "How could he not love you? You're Marilyn Monroe." Marilyn laughed bitterly. "No, Sarah, I'm just a woman who looks like Marilyn Monroe. Inside there's still Norma Jean, still that orphan girl, still the girl who wants to belong." Sarah started crying silently. "I want to belong too." Marilyn hugged her, tightly. "For a long time, you belong now," she whispered. "You're here and you belong." That night Sarah slept in Marilyn's house, but when she woke up in the morning, something was different. Sarah took out a note from her bag, and when Marilyn read that note, everything changed. The next morning, Marilyn woke up early. It was a habit. Sleeping pills could put her to sleep, but she always woke at 6 a.m. She went downstairs, made coffee, and checked Sarah's room. The door was closed. She was still sleeping. Marilyn smiled. Good. The girl needed rest. But then she heard a sound. The door opened. Sarah came out. Her eyes were red. She'd been crying. "Sarah, what happened?" Sarah was holding a piece of paper, trembling. I need to show you something," she said. Marilyn approached. "What is it?" Sarah extended the paper. "I found it in my bag. The last thing my mother wrote, the day she left me." Marilyn took the paper. It was an old notebook page, written in pencil. The handwriting was messy. She read, "Sarah, I love you but I can't take care of you. We have no money. I have no job. I don't belong anywhere. I can't make you happy. Maybe someone else can take better care of you. Maybe someone else can make you happy. Forgive me. Please forgive me. Your mother." Marilyn's hand trembled. The paper fell. When did she write this?" 3 years ago, Sarah said. "She left me with a foster family. I never saw her again." Marilyn swallowed. "Where is she now?" "I don't know. Maybe she's dead. Maybe she forgot me." Marilyn looked at the floor. Her eyes filled, because she knew that note. The same words, the same excuse, the same pain. Marilyn's mother Gladys had done the same thing. Abandoned Marilyn, said "I can't handle you," and left Marilyn in an orphanage. And Marilyn had carried that abandonment pain for 36 years. Every day, every night, every breath. "Sarah," Marilyn said, her voice trembling, "your mother didn't leave you because she didn't love you. She left you because she didn't love herself." Sarah raised her head. "Some people are so broken," Marilyn continued, "they don't know how to love, not even themselves, and people like that sometimes leave their own children. But that's not your fault, Sarah. It was never your fault." Sarah cried. "Then why? Why wasn't I enough?" Marilyn hugged her, tightly. "You are enough, Sarah. You've always been enough. But some mothers are too blind to see it." They both cried, for a long time, silently, because they both shared the same pain. They were both abandoned children. They both lived with the fear of "I'm not enough." But that morning, Marilyn made a decision that would change Sarah's life, and Marilyn's too. After breakfast, Marilyn went to the phone, called her lawyer. "Mickey, I need to do something." "What happened, Marilyn?" There's a 16-year-old girl here. She has no family, nowhere to go. I need to help her. Mickey hesitated. Marilyn, be careful. You're a celebrity, taking in someone you don't know. I don't care, Marilyn said sharply. That girl is me. Me at 16, and nobody helped her. But I will. What do you want to do? Marilyn took a deep breath. I want to become her guardian, legally, her custodian. I want to give her a home, school, a future, everything. Mickey was silent. Mickey, Marilyn, are you sure? This is a big responsibility. Your life is complicated. Films, press, health issues. I'm sure, Marilyn said. For the first time in my life, I'm sure about something. Mickey sighed. Okay, I'll prepare the documents. But it takes time. Court approval is needed. Social services will investigate. How long? A few months. Maybe 6 months. 6 months. Marilyn's voice rose. That girl has nowhere to wait for 6 months. Marilyn, that's how the system works. There's no shortcut. Marilyn hung up, put her hands to her face. Sarah was standing in the kitchen doorway. She'd heard everything. Mrs. Monroe, were you talking about me? Marilyn turned. Her eyes were wet. Sarah, I need to ask you something, and I want you to tell me the truth. Do you want to stay here? With me? In my home? Sarah's mouth fell open. You want me. I want you, Marilyn said. I want you. Because you're my past, Sarah. And maybe if I help you, I can save my own past too. Sarah ran, hugged Marilyn, sobbed. Yes, she said. Yes, I want to stay here. I want to stay with you. Marilyn held her tightly. Then you'll stay. Whatever the court says, you're mine now. The following days were like a miracle. Marilyn introduced Sarah to everything. The house, the garden, the neighborhood. She bought Sarah clothes, books, researched schools, and every night, they ate together, watched TV together, cried together, laughed together. Sarah told Marilyn stories about the orphanage, foster families, the streets. Marilyn told stories too, her own stories, her own orphanage memories, her own fears, and 2 abandoned girls found a family in each other. But the story didn't end there. 3 months later, Marilyn received a phone call from social services, and what they said both broke and healed Marilyn's heart. January 15, 1962. Sarah sat next to her, clean clothes, combed hair, but her hands were trembling. The judge was a serious woman in her 60s. She was reviewing the file. Mrs. Monroe, the judge said, you want to become Sarah Mitchell's legal guardian? Yes, Your Honor. Why? Marilyn paused. Because the real answer was complicated. But the simple answer was the voice of the heart. Because she's mine, Marilyn said. My past, my mirror, and I want to give her what nobody gave me. A family. The judge looked at Marilyn, then at Sarah. Miss Mitchell, what do you want? Sarah stood up. Her voice was trembling, but clear. I want to stay with Mrs. Monroe. She made me feel like I belonged somewhere for the first time. Like I was valuable for the first time. Like I was loved for the first time. The judge took notes. Mrs. Monroe, I know your health isn't good. You're receiving psychological treatment. Doesn't this prevent you from caring for a child? Marilyn breathed. She'd been expecting this question. Your Honor, I'm not perfect. I have problems. But that doesn't make me less of a mother. On the contrary, it makes me more understanding. Because I suffered like Sarah. I was abandoned too. And nobody said to me, you have problems but you're still valuable. I want to tell Sarah that. The judge looked silently, then closed the file. Mrs. Monroe, I'm granting you temporary custody. For 6 months, social services will monitor you. If Sarah's safety and health are protected, the custody will become permanent. Marilyn's eyes filled. Thank you, Your Honor. Sarah cried, from happiness, and Marilyn hugged her. In the middle of the courtroom, no cameras, no press, just 2 people, 2 abandoned girls, now a family. But the story didn't end there, because 6 months later, in July 1962, social services submitted their report. Sarah Mitchell is academically successful, emotionally stable, safe and happy at home. Marilyn Monroe is a suitable guardian. The court made its decision, permanent custody. Sarah was now legally Marilyn's daughter. But when that decision was made, Marilyn wasn't there, because Marilyn was in the hospital at the time. Her health had deteriorated. Her depression had deepened. Sarah visited her. In the hospital room, Marilyn had lost weight, was pale. Marilyn, Sarah said, the custody was approved. We're really family now. Marilyn smiled, a weak smile. You saved me, Sarah. Do you know that? Sarah was surprised. Me? No, you saved me. No, Marilyn said. You gave me a reason to live, a reason to be loved. I'm not just Marilyn Monroe anymore. I'm your mother, Sarah cried. And you're my mother. They held hands, for a long time, but 3 weeks later, Marilyn died, August 5, 1962, and Sarah lost her world again. But Marilyn had left her something that would change Sarah's life forever. August 5, 1962. Sarah got the news by phone. Sarah, I have terrible news. Marilyn is dead. Sarah dropped the phone. No, it couldn't be. They talked 3 weeks ago. She was getting better. She was coming home. But now she was gone. At the funeral, Sarah sat in the front row, as Marilyn's family. But nobody looked at her. Nobody talked to her. Hollywood stars, producers, directors, they all ignored Sarah. Because who was Sarah? A girl from the streets. Marilyn's charity case. But Sarah didn't care, because Marilyn had taught her she was valuable. Marilyn had been family to her, and nobody could take that away. When the will was read, everyone was shocked. Marilyn had left Sarah something. Not the house, not money, but something far more valuable. A letter, in Marilyn's handwriting, to Sarah. When Sarah opened the letter, she cried from beginning to end. The letter said, "Dear Sarah, if you're reading this, I'm no longer with you, but I never abandoned you. I didn't choose to leave. I have so much to tell you, but the most important thing is this: you saved me, Sarah. The night you knocked on my door, I was thinking about dying. I couldn't find a reason to stay alive. Everyone was using me. Nobody really loved me. But you came, and you showed me that love can be real, that family isn't just blood, that two strangers can become a family. You gave me a reason to live. And now whatever happens, I'll leave thinking of you, knowing I loved you. Sarah, life will be cruel to you. People will abandon you, use you, break you. But never forget, you are valuable. You are enough. You can be loved, and I loved you. I really did. You are my daughter, Sarah. Forever. Marilyn." Sarah read the letter, read it again, read it hundreds of times, and she understood. Marilyn died, but her love didn't. Marilyn left, but her legacy remained. Sarah Mitchell is now 77 years old, married, has 3 children, 7 grandchildren, and she tells all of them Marilyn's story. Who saved Grandma's life? Her grandchildren ask. Marilyn Monroe, Sarah says. But I saved her too. One day Sarah gave an interview for a documentary. People remember Marilyn Monroe as a sex symbol, Sarah said. But I remember her as a mother. What did she teach you? Sarah smiled. She taught me this: love is a choice, and sometimes strangers become your closest family. Did you ever regret it, knocking on her door that night? Sarah shook her head. Never. That night saved my life, and I saved hers. We saved each other. Today, in Sarah's house, a photograph hangs. Marilyn and Sarah, in the Brentwood house. Marilyn is smiling, a real smile, not fake. Sarah is hugging her, happy, safe, and under the photo, an inscription: family is built not by blood, but by love. October 17, 1961. Marilyn Monroe was a mother to Sarah for 9 months. Only 9 months, but those 9 months shaped Sarah's 77-year life. Because Marilyn taught her the most valuable thing: you are worthy of love, and that lesson lasts a lifetime. This story isn't just about Marilyn Monroe's kindness. This story is about how 2 broken people healed each other. Marilyn took Sarah off the streets, but Sarah saved Marilyn from hopelessness. They were both lonely, both abandoned, both lived with the fear of I'm not enough, but when they came together, they became a family. Without blood, without contract, only with love. In the last year of her life, Marilyn Monroe lost many things: her films, her relationships, her health, her hope, but she gained one thing: a daughter. And that daughter is Marilyn's true legacy. Not films, not songs, a person. Sarah, today she's 77, has 3 children, 7 grandchildren, happy, because 60 years ago one night, Marilyn Monroe opened the door and said, "Come inside, you're safe," and those 5 words saved 2 lives. People ask, what is Marilyn Monroe's legacy? Some say her beauty, some say her films, but Sarah says, her love, because Marilyn taught her this: being a star is easy, but being human takes courage. Being famous is easy, but being good takes courage. Getting applause is easy, but loving takes courage. And that's why this story is pure magic. Because Marilyn Monroe changed a life forever, not just for one night. Because a stranger became family. Because 2 broken hearts became whole. Marilyn Monroe died on August 5, 1962, but she's still alive in Sarah Mitchell's heart. And every day, Sarah tells her grandchildren, Marilyn Monroe saved Grandma's life. Because she wasn't just a star, she was a mother, my mother. And perhaps the greatest truth is this: Marilyn Monroe gave the world a smile, but she gave Sarah a home, and that is more valuable than any song, any film, any photograph.